The following 30-minute show has been purchased by you, your league, or your league mate. The subject of the show is your league. The opinions expressed are exclusively about your league. So strap in for the most relevant fantasy football podcast you'll hear all year with host Andy Goldstein and Derek Jones.
Welcome to the Rate My League podcast. Derek Jones, Andy Goldstein with you as we take a look at GooberNation. What is GooberNation?
It's this league.
Okay. This league has 14 teams in it.
They do. Lots of teams.
Yes, thank you, Morgan, for making the purchase. We appreciate it. Do you want to say anything?
No, I appreciate it. I don't appreciate any complaints. So if you have any issues, anyone out there has any issues, Morgan's your person. I'm assuming Morgan is a man because I don't think we've had anyone who wasn't a man.
Morgan is a great female name, by the way.
It is.
It is, but this is a dude.
When I
probably
picture a Morgan, it's always an attractive woman.
Brunette?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree.
Maybe not.
No. Okay. I can go with that. So this league, it's a redraft league.
I swear we're going to talk about football.
Yeah, it's a redraft league as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
Standard scoring, 15 players per roster. And the rundown goes as such: 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 kicker, 1 defensive special teams unit.
Mm-hmm.
You ready?
I am ready.
So I like this. This is straight and to the point, man. This one. This is no shucking and jiving. They're getting right into it. None of this like we're trying to humiliate our other owners and stuff like that.
We've seen some of that.
Yeah. The first one, the great Cornholio.
Oh, Corn Julio.
Corn Julio.
Corn Julio.
Okay, Corn Julio. Is that a Beavis and Butthead reference? Daggone it. This is actually Morgan. Sorry, Morgan.
We have to like this team.
Yeah, we have to like this team, even though I'm a little sketchy on the name. I will begrudgingly give this team some credit. So, let's take a look.
Yeah.
Decent squad in a couple areas. Cam Newton, quarterback, as a starter. That's a little shaky.
Well, that's okay. For a 14-team league, Cam Newton is what? Where would you rank Cam Newton? 8th or so?
Okay. Probably 10, 11, 12.
No, you're a hater.
I'm not a hater. So the quarterback depth is interesting with Newton and Bradford.
Yeah.
Bradford potentially could have a good year if he doesn't get hit.
High ceiling.
Yeah. Running backs.
He doesn't get hit.
Yeah, that's a concern. Like other humans hitting him might be. I just have that image from the Baltimore game.
Maybe he's in the wrong business. Maybe that's the problem. Should be like a cheesemaker.
Do you think Sam Bradford likes football? I mean, I'm sorry. Like is the wrong word. Love. You think he loves football?
I guess. I don't know. He's from Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, but he just looks like a guy sometimes who's like, man.
He's got nothing else going on.
He has
anything else going on?
What else is he going to do with his life? The running backs, I'll tell you what. I'm not super big on this group.
Yeah.
McCoy is injured right now.
Might miss week 1.
Yeah.
Might miss week 1.
Melvin Gordon is still an unproven rookie, although we might think that he's going to be something.
Yeah.
Just might not be long-term, or at least this first year it might not be good enough for you to start.
Well, look.
Or what do you think?
He's a rookie starting running back. Someone's going to start him. Yeah, is there a chance he could be Bishop Sankey? Sure, there's a chance, but I think he could be better than that. I'm not out on Melvin Gordon yet, but right now I probably have him behind Gurley, even though Gurley's injured. Once Gurley comes back, I certainly would rather have Gurley than Gordon. And probably Amir Abdullah is in front of Gordon right now also, just based on preseason hype.
Yeah, I think on the flip side of this, if everything works out well for Morgan, I think he could have a very good tandem on his hands.
Well, he's got Julio Jones.
Well, of course, yeah. He has Julio Jones, Allen Robinson, Anquan Boldner, the receivers. 14-team league, that's not bad.
No, that's not bad. And look, you're probably right. It comes down, I think, Gordon is the big key here.
Yep.
If McCoy and Gordon they have the potential to be one of the top running back duos in this league. If that turns out, then this team is a dark horse contender, I think.
Yeah, I would agree. There are some earmarks here for a team that could make a run, depending on if Allen Robinson plays well.
Reached on David Cobb, I think. Took Cobb middle round there. It's not great.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do. So potential dark horse here for Morgan. So Morgan, bang up job there, sir. Next, the A team, Adam. Do we feel like the name could be better here?
The A team, yeah.
Like if his name is Adam and his name is the A team. No offense, guy, but I'm just saying.
I will say this: sometimes leagues have been around a long time, right?
Yeah.
And when you're 15, like let's say this league started when all these guys were 15 years old,
Yeah.
you can't expect them to come up with,
Great names.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just a tradition. You got to go with it.
Okay. All right.
Sometimes you have to, you have to go with tradition. That's okay. I'm assuming that that's the case here.
Tell you what, he's got a good little team here.
Yes, he does.
Phil Rivers is the quarterback, along with Teddy Bridgewater. You can't complain about Teddy Bridgewater. Love me some Teddy B.
And if you read Football Outsiders, they just had a whole story on Teddy Bridgewater and how he's going to be a really good quarterback.
Oh, man.
They are on board with the Teddy Bridgewater train.
I am ready. Eddie Lacy, Mark Ingram are the starting running backs.
Yep.
Danny Woodhead and Doug Martin. See, I'll tell you what, like those three running backs, you do a lot worse. I mean, if Doug Martin has a comeback season, which the preseason kind of suggested he might.
He's looking good.
Could be a big run here for the A-team. Receivers, Cobb, Macklin, Marshall, Michael Floyd, and Ty Montgomery.
Yeah. It certainly falls off. But again, it's a 14-team league.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. I guess the only question really, he's spent a 4th-round pick on Brandon Marshall.
That's way too early. Way too early.
I like Macklin right now better than I like Marshall. Although Fitzpatrick being the quarterback there probably helps Marshall a little bit.
Yeah, there's a little bit more of a chance for explosiveness, as they say.
Can Phillip Rivers do enough?
Well, I mean, it depends on what Phil Rivers we get. I mean, he has been a top 10 fantasy quarterback the last couple of years. He's been pretty good. But, this suspension for Antonio Gates first 4 weeks, you wonder how that's going to impact the offense and who's going to step up and fill that void. It's a big question.
Yep. Otherwise, I think this is a contender.
Yes. Ebron. What do we think of Eric Ebron?
Well, they just brought in Tim Wright.
Well, that tells you all you need to know.
Tells you all you need to know about Eric Ebron.
Uptown Funch you?
I guess. I think so.
Ruben.
Funche
you?
I'll look it up. You just start talking.
So the
this looks good. It's a Puerto Rican. It's like Puerto Rican polenta.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has some substance behind it.
Yeah.
Good. The high ceiling players for this team.
I don't care. I'm looking at pictures of food. You go.
C.J. Anderson and Frank Gore, the running backs, at least to start. LeGarrette Blount, also Ronnie Hillman. I mean, the good thing here for Uptown is getting Hillman alongside C.J. Anderson, because I think there might be a little bit of a shakeup there with Denver's backfield at some point.
Yeah.
It's just that collection of guys, they haven't been able to stay healthy throughout the last couple of seasons.
Yeah.
So that's a major concern, I think.
I do. Yeah. I mean,
for this team,
it seems necessary to me.
Mike Evans, I like.
Mm-hmm.
Standout receiver, very good. It kind of dwindles from there. So the receivers, it drops after Evans. Devin Funchess, Marcus Colston, Brashad Perryman, also Dorial Green-Beckham, Harry Douglas, and Reggie Wayne, now of New England Patriots fame.
Gotta love Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, not a strong group there. Quarterback, by the way, is Drew Brees. That is pretty decent.
That's not bad.
Yeah. But this team just doesn't have that punch. Has one good receiver and not really a lot else. I mean, the running backs are okay, at least they're starting running backs.
Mm-hmm.
But God forbid something happened to C.J. Anderson and or Ronnie Hillman, and then Frank Gore. I mean, Frank Gore is going to be a 10 to 15 carry per game player. I don't think he's going to be touching the ball 20 times a game.
No, I don't think this is a title team necessarily. I think they have some interesting players. I think the playoffs are the absolute highest you could hope for here.
Here comes the hate. Morgan sucks my little hammer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now we're getting there.
Wow. So this is what appears to be, from Patch, a feast or famine type team. Andrew Luck, Adrian Peterson, Ryan Matthews. The depth isn't there. I will say that. The depth is not there.
This is something of a boom-bust team.
Right. You're hoping, if you have Ryan Matthews, that something obviously happens with DeMarco Murray, that it will at least clear out some space and give Matthews a chance to be, an every down type of back. But again, it's a relatively sizable if, depending on somebody else to get hurt.
Yeah, I think Patch, what Patch kind of did here was he gambled. And I'm okay with that.
It's a patchwork team. Boom, boom, shh.
Hang on.
What? You're going to stop the podcast over?
No, I'm not going to stop the podcast, but I have a sound. You just start talking. I have a sound.
Okay. That is a good joke. I feel like that's an accomplished joke. But I will say that Adrian Peterson and Ryan Matthews, it's not a bad combo depending on how the Eagles deploy Ryan Matthews. The receivers, Golden Tate, Deshaun Jackson, Torrey Smith.
Wait, I have the sound. Here, say the joke again.
This is kind of a patchwork team.
Oh, it didn't work at all.
Oh.
Say the joke.
This is a patch. Wait, I got to deliver the line over with similar verb. Andy, looking at this.
No, hang on. I'm not ready.
Okay.
Okay, go now.
Okay, Andy, looking at this team, this is kind of a patchwork team. Yeah.
That's what I was going for.
Yes.
I was failed by the button. The button didn't work. Where were we?
We are getting off track.
We are, just a little bit.
Golden Tate, Deshaun Jackson, Torrey Smith are receivers. Not so great. Brian Quick. Marvin Jones, Tyler Lockett, who has shown some promise during the preseason. Not a spectacular group of receivers.
We're talking about hiding the strings.
No, Morgan sucks my little hammer.
You're still on Morgan. Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think this team. Look, this team is one DeMarco Murray injury away from being, I think, a contender. Right now, the way the team is constructed now, they are not a playoff team.
Yeah, there's not enough bench here.
No,
not enough bench at all. They have Jimmy Graham, so they have that going for them.
Yep.
Hiding the strings. Anthony. Hello there, buddy. Nice group here. Some youngsters.
Where's my Price is Right sound?
A lot of youngsters.
Yeah.
Carlos Hyde.
Mm-hmm.
Nelson Aguilar.
Yep.
Devontae Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae Parker.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Coleman. And Jeff Janis.
Yeah, finally a Jeff Janis sighting.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for that.
Sleeper. Deep sleeper in Green Bay.
Not according to Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was laying down the hate on Jeff Janis.
What do you say about him?
He said sometimes he's great in practice and sometimes he doesn't show up or something like that.
Oh, well, you know what that means.
This looks like a 500 team to me.
Yeah. Roethlisberger's the quarterback.
It's a nice group.
They need another quarterback, by the way.
I'm not afraid of this team at all.
No, I wouldn't be. I mean, Jamal Charles and Carlos Hyde, maybe that can be something. Charles, obviously, if he has another Jamal Charles year, that's great for you, but
right.
Carlos Hyde is going to be really one of the key figureheads on the team and figuring out whether or not he is going to be a productive player. It's a decent group, but yeah, I would agree. I think you're looking at about 500 there.
Oh, well.
Time to move on to Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dopers. What are you talking about?
I like it.
Well, I knew
This is
you would.
Olaf's team, by the way.
Yeah, Olaf.
I've never known anyone named Olaf in real life.
Well, when you have Demaryius Thomas and Calvin Johnson as your top 2 wide receivers, you can be
That's not too
called
bad.
whatever the heck you want to be called.
I like teams that go wide receiver to start drafts.
Yeah, it's a more common occurrence now than what it was 5-10 years ago, obviously.
Yep. And
back then, it was just running back.
Yep.
This team, though, here, with the really 3 strong wide receivers, also Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen is a number 3. That's good.
That's pretty good. The running backs they leave a bit to be desired. Is that fair to say?
Considering this is a standard scoring league, yes.
Yeah.
Andre Ellington and Gio Bernard are the running backs, joined by David Johnson, Duke Johnson. Kind of sketchy. Not going to lie. Vernon Davis is the tight end.
I like the prospects of David Johnson.
Yeah. That
Could be a starter.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's got Ellington, so if he ends up with Johnson as a starter, that means Ellington's probably not going to be useful, so...
Yeah, this is a weird team. I mean, they have Martavis Bryant, who, once he comes back from suspension, could be something. Big problem, though, for this team, you have 2 players who are facing suspensions. So that's just like, those are 2 guys. Those are guys that are dead, basically, for 4 weeks out of the year for your team. So I like the receivers. I think that the running backs, though, will be what kills this team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yep. Running backs are not good enough.
Maybe you get to the first round of the playoffs and lose gracefully. Desolation
or ungracefully.
Yeah, that's true.
You could lose by a lot.
Desolation of...
Oh, God.
Monge?
I don't know. This is a Lord of the Rings reference, by the way. You wouldn't understand.
Lord of the Rings. You guys are football fans. Come on. Let's go. On this Lord of the Rings stuff.
I don't know what Mung. Maybe that's his last name. This is Alex.
Monge?
It's got to be a last name.
In the meantime, while we figure that out, Eli Manning is the starting quarterback along with Alex Smith. Oh, boy. Enjoy that bye week there, fella. Lamar Miller, your boy.
Absolutely.
This is a backfield right up your alley. Lamar Miller and Latavius Murray.
I love the ceiling of this team, Derek.
And Amir Abdullah.
I love it. I love the ceiling. This team has... Look, I'm a gambling type. I don't want to just not lose my league. We see a lot of teams that are just Jeremy Hill and who's a safe wide receiver, like I guess Randall Cobb to a degree, and you just see a bunch of guys who are safe. You know you're going to get something from them, but I want to win my league. I want domination. That's what this team can do. They can dominate. Do I think they will? Probably not, but they can. I want a team that can.
You want a team that can dominate. Yes. I can respect that. I can. Sounds a little delusional, but
look, it's a risky group. They could fall on their face, but if they hit on some of these picks, with Miller there, who I adore, I'm totally biased on Lamar Miller, so I can't even really talk about him. But even Latavius Murray, who's got a really high upside, Abdullah, who's looked amazing in the preseason, this team has a chance to be something really special. It's not likely, but there's a chance.
And one of the reasons why Arian Foster's on the roster.
Yep.
He'll be back. At least that's the plan.
Yep.
Next up, let's lynch McCoy. What? What are we talking about here?
I think the running backs, right?
Yeah. Boy, this is right in your face. So the quarterbacks are Colin Kaepernick and Tom Brady.
Santos' team.
Yeah, this is Santos' team. The quarterbacks are Colin Kaepernick and Tom Brady. Obviously, once Brady returns, Colin Kaepernick will go into deep freeze on the bench. You would have to, considering, you're not really going to play ahead of one of arguably the greatest quarterback of all time and the modern era.
Kurt Warner's on this team?
Oh, stop. Don't give me Kurt Warner. He's great, but... Oh, this is what I meant to tell you. It's totally off topic. We'll get back to the league in 1 second. I was looking this up.
Yeah.
The last quarterback to get inducted in the Hall of Fame,
okay,
I believe, was Warren Moon / Troy Aikman.
Yeah, the year we went.
Yeah.
Really? There's been no one since?
I don't think there's been anybody since. I was looking this up a couple days ago. Unless there's a veteran guy who got in. But
should I look this up?
yeah, see if you can find that. I'd be interested to know. I don't think any quarterback has gotten in the Hall of Fame since we went in 2006.
All right.
Crazy to me.
I'll be able to tell you in a second.
That streak is going to come to a crashing end this year.
Yeah.
Obviously.
You just keep talking.
With Lord Favre on the way. The running backs, DeMarco Murray, Alfred Morris, and Lorenzo Taliaferro. Isaiah Crowell also. Not a great set of running backs. Murray and Morris are decent, but after that, meh. Blase blah. The receivers, Julian Edelman, Roddy White, Malcolm Floyd. Again, not really a strong part of the team. John Brown, Brandon LaFell. We've seen a lot of people with Brandon LaFell, and rightfully so, based off of what he did last year. But LaFell has undergone a lot of injury problems during the offseason. He hasn't really been a significant part of Patriots training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't really done anything in training camp for the Patriots. So it's interesting to see that he's still popping up on rosters.
Yep.
Kind of bizarre.
Not much to add there.
Yeah. Kind of bizarre. Let me ask you a question before we switch up. How big of a hit does Alfred Morris's value take with the immortal Kirk Cousins taking over a quarterback?
It's not a great situation, and this team took Morris in the second round.
Right.
Yeah, he's historically performed better with RG3, and it makes sense because when teams have multiple running threats to deal with, it helps the running back. That's just the way it goes. So, yeah, I think you can certainly worry about that. Also, Matt Jones has looked really good in the preseason. There's word that he might get more action, so value for Morris is down in the preseason, that's for sure.
Aha! Forte Greens on the West.
By the way, before we get to Jose's team here, I think you're right. Unless they're one of these old-timey, senior committee inductees that I don't know some of these guys. I don't know. I could look them up. But other than that, there's no, modern quarterback.
Yeah, that's that. Well, yeah, I guess maybe that's the connotation. No modern quarterback has gotten in since Aikman and Moon in 2000. So it made me think about, when you're talking about Kurt Warner, it made me think about some of the guys who played in that 2000s era. And, man, apparently not a great time for quarterbacks.
No. Kurt Warner should be in.
He's going to get in.
He should.
But I think he might have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, he'll have to wait, but he should.
So Favre will go in this year.
Ugh.
And that speech will be. His speech, one of my friends timed it out. I think his speech was about 50 minutes for the Packers ceremony that they did this past summer.
I don't think we're going to go to that one.
No. I'm not. I am not. Forte Greens on the West. Jose. The draft. Kind of weird here.
Yep.
They have Jordy Nelson.
Yep. Second round pick.
What happened there?
I guess this draft happened before the injury. That's
my
guess.
Boy, I hope so.
I
hope so. Tony Romo's a quarterback. Man, I just don't feel good about this team. Andy Dalton's the other quarterback. Forte and Gurley are the running backs to start. Bishop Sankey, also Jonas Gray as well.
Yeah, this is a subpar team unless Cooks absolutely goes off. He's the guy with the highest ceiling here, and Gurley comes back eventually, and he he plays as well as he possibly could. Unless those two things happen, this team is sub 500.
Yeah, this
Fair?
isn't a very good squad. Sorry, Jose, but this is tough. Very tough. On to over the hill.
Yep.
This team's not too bad.
Cesar.
Yes,
Or is it Caesar?
We'll say Cesar.
Cesar.
That sounds a little cooler. Matt Ryan, Jeremy Hill, Chris Ivory are a part of the backfield, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
Hill and Ivory, not a bad tandem there. Alfred Blue, meh, not that great. Denard Robinson. The running back group is unspectacular.
Yes. Yeah, it's Man, this is a tough team, I think, to gauge. They're not a top team, but I think there's enough here that makes me think, yeah, they could make the playoffs. I think this could be a playoff team, and then once you get into the playoffs, anything can happen, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, you just have to hope that they get contributions out of some of the unsuspecting candidates.
Yeah, they need a third wide receiver, really.
Steve Smith and Terrence Williams. Not. Oh man. I mean, how much longer?
Williams a little bit.
Yeah,
we both like Williams a little bit. I know you like him just a tad.
Yeah, I like him. Steve Smith Sr., I think it's pretty much, later days for him.
He'll have a couple good games.
Yeah, he will.
Before he gets kicked out.
He'll have some moments. Gronk always is having moments.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a great team, but it's one that has a shot to do something.
Yeah, anytime with Matt Ryan, Jeremy Hill, Rob Gronkowski, we kind of talked about it before. This is one of those teams that played it a little safer. Gronk obviously not safe, but other than Gronkowski, Hill, and to a degree Matthew, this is a team that's kind of safe.
Luigi's team. You all can lick my Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
I like it.
So this team is in the mix to do something. I think we would agree on that. Russell Wilson, a quarterback. Justin Forsett, Rashad Jennings, part of the running back core.
Stud quarterback.
Joe Flacco is probably going to have to spell Wilson a couple times after his 125-yard passing days.
So I just have to apologize to GooberNation here, but Derek has a deep-seated vendetta against Russell Wilson.
It's not deep-seated. Deep-seated is a strong word.
Yeah, he doesn't like Russell Wilson for reasons that are absurd.
They're not No, you're going way too far into this.
Derek has a passionate love affair with Tom Brady, and he's threatened by Russell Wilson's immediate success in the NFL. That's all.
I am threatened by only one quarterback in relationship to Tom Brady. Aaron Rodgers. That's it. But even he is no longer really a threat.
What are you talking about?
Not a threat. Not a threat to the king. Hey, let's see you get back. How many NFC Championship games has Aaron Rodgers played in?
I don't know, but he's been the best quarterback in the NFL for a number of years.
Ask Peyton Manning about that. How was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
You're threatened by Wilson.
No. Anyhow, as for this team, Antonio Brown, stud.
Mm-hmm.
We agree on that.
He does lose Julius Thomas, though.
Yeah, that's going to smart a little bit, but Larry Donnell is the tight end, so maybe.
I like Donnell more than just about everyone else in the world.
Yeah.
I think he's got top 10 potential this year.
The bench is not fantastic.
No.
For a 14-team league, not enthralling at all.
He needs a third wide receiver. This is even I would call him a dark horse. It's a 14-team league. You're gonna have some trouble somewhere on your roster, and with Wilson and Brown and Forsett I think this team is good enough to be a dark horse contender.
Yeah, and they have angry Doug Baldwin. Maybe he'll do something positive besides whining all the time about everyone not liking the receiving core in Seattle. Yeah, baby, I like it raw. Gerald. Oh, my God. That's a rap music reference.
You said that with such disdain. His name, Gerald.
Because, it's a
strong name.
It's a 20-year-old rap reference.
I like it even more, then.
Suit yourself. Speaking of Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
He's the quarterback of this team.
Oh, nice.
But I'll tell you what, hurting. This is the Kelvin Benjamin team.
Yes, it is.
And that is a major, major problem.
Well, the preseason injury gods taketh and the preseason injury gods giveth because Devontae Adams is also here.
Yeah, so that helps out a lot. So you have Aaron Rodgers. Also, you have Odell Beckham Jr. So those are two very good building blocks. The running back core leaves, I would say, something to be desired, but
I believe this team traded away Jamal Charles for Odell Beckham, by the way. I think that happened.
What?
Well, there might have been more to that
God.
trade, but I think that was the framework of a trade that happened.
That is kind of crazy.
No, I mean, Odell Beckham Jr., I'm all in on Odell Beckham Jr.
No, I think that's a great
deal. Did you see him on
deal.
Hard Knocks beating Charles James at Madden?
Yeah, that was kind of bogus.
Come on, he's got it all.
Well, let me throw the ball to myself.
He's got it all. That's what I would do too.
Yeah. Yeah, good job, Eli. Oh, my goodness. So, there are some sneaky guys on this team. Eddie Royal is a potential sleeper candidate.
Yep.
So, he has a chance, I think, to be a contender.
Yeah, I don't have him down as a contender, but I think this is a sneaky team.
Yeah.
I think they have a chance to make the playoffs. Look, again, we've said it before. We'll probably say it again. It's a 14-team league. Any of these teams that have a couple good players, couple studs,
Yeah.
and then some interesting prospects, anything can happen. Anything can happen. The margin, I feel, my personal experience with bigger leagues, the margin between the top team and the worst team is a little less than in smaller leagues. So I think there's a chance here. I just don't have them down as a contender.
Team Dong.
Yeah.
Brandong is the name. Did you
got to
is
embrace
that a typo?
You got no. I think that's. I mean, the team
Get
name is hash. You didn't even say it right. It is team #Dong. Okay, #Dong.
What do you think would happen if I typed #Dong into Twitter?
I think.
My computer would get every virus known to man.
I think my fiance would have some questions. About,
Yeah, about internet usage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do that. So let's just look at the team. We don't need to take a look at the hashtag. Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback, along with nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have a backup.
Yep.
Marshawn Lynch, Jonathan Stewart are the running backs. Jerick McKinnon also in the mix as well. Terrence West.
This team, again, we talked about it, and I'm going to say it again. This team played it safe. This is a safe team. Lynch, Jeffrey. Okay, Hopkins has a high ceiling. I like that value, too, where Hopkins went. Jonathan Stewart. I don't know. Team played it safe.
Unspectacular team.
Yeah.
Do we have hope for this team being a contender?
I felt this way a lot this year, that you kind of need a top, one of those tier 1 wide receivers. I think there's 8 of them. You can do the math on who those are. I put Cobb into that group because of the Jordy Nelson injury. I think it's really hard to win a title without one of those guys. I really believe that this year. Without one of those 8, you're going to have a lot of trouble. So that's how I feel.
Interesting. Yeah, I think you have an issue coming up in drafts where teams that go running back early on, if you're in a snake,
especially in a 14-team league.
Yeah, if you're in a snake, it's not coming back to you.
Nope.
Very, very interesting dilemma this year. I dig it. Team Gonzalez. Gus.
Yeah.
Gus. Gus kind of blew off the running back position after grabbing Le'Veon Bell.
Just a bit. Tevin Coleman, right?
Yeah, Tevin Coleman.
Tevin Coleman was the second back he picked.
Yeah, that's.
I love Coleman. I think Coleman could be a starter eventually in this league.
Well,
I think he could be a starter this year, but I don't think it happens right away. I think maybe by week 8. He reminds me a little bit of Jamal Lewis, who took over as a rookie for Baltimore on their way to a title, by the way. That they would not have won without him.
Yeah.
I just want to put that out there.
He took over for the Priest, right?
Did he?
I think the Priest was on that team.
Yeah, I think he was. But Lewis was much better.
Yeah.
But I think by week 8, week 9, but by that point your fantasy season's over.
Right.
If he's your starter and he's not actually starting in the NFL until then,
that's a horrible sign. Horrible sign.
I kind of forgot Eric Decker was in the league until I saw this team.
Hilton and Sanders, meh. Duo of receivers. Hilton.
I want to like this team. Look, I want to love this team. I want to like this team more than I do. I just kind of feel like they're fatally flawed.
Yeah, Peyton Manning, the quarterback. Not a lot of juice once you get past Peyton Manning and Le'Veon Bell.
I think that they're going to put up some really big weeks. I think they're a team that's going to be able to beat anyone any given week, but I think they're also going to be able to lose to anyone any given week. That consistency will not be there. Derek, who are your contenders? I know who my contender is.
This
contenders
is a supremely tough call.
are. I think the first two teams we looked at are both really good.
Yeah, I think Corn Julio is good. I would not call them a decisive favorite.
And it's harder with a 14-team league to pick out, oh, yeah, that team really stands out, because teams just don't stand out as much. The A team, to me, is the contender, and then I have Morgan's The Great Corn Julio and Luigi's You Can All Lick My Fitzgerald as dark horse teams. But I will say there's more teams in this league than normal who I think are a break or two away from really having something special.
Couldn't agree more. A lot of teams that have similar issues at wide receiver and running back. So I think it's going to be very tough.
Is there any team that just stinks?
Yes. I think.
I don't like Jose's team. Forte Greens on the West.
Yeah, Jose's team is not very good.
Sorry, Jose.
Jose's team is kind of repugnant.
That's one way to put it. All right, you can follow me at RateMyLeague on Twitter. Hopefully you guys had a good time. Anything else? Are we good?
I think we're good, man.
Watch some good football this year. Drink some good beer. Have a good time.
There's nothing else.
There's nothing else
in
to
life.
Say. There's nothing else to say. Wait.
There's nothing else in life. That's what you have to do. Drink beer, watch football.
Oh, I was gonna try to get the sound. The sound's gone. All right, guys. Have a good season. Adios.
See ya.